Simcha, celebration, Simcha, Simcha, celebration of life.
Welcome back. The great Kabbalist Rabbi Chaim Vital writes in his work, Gates of Holiness, that after Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they themselves became a mixture of good and evil. He continues to explain that man is formed from the four elements: fire, wind, water, and earth, each one of these representing different aspects of the physical and spiritual makeup of man. Rebbitzin Natalie Riess takes a look at the role water plays within our lives.
Today we're going to talk about the element of water. What's water all about? It's abundance, it's flow, it's kindness, it's wealth and riches and purity. And that's the feminine trait that we want to connect to water. A woman connects to the water throughout this because a woman in itself, in herself, she is kindness, she is giving. She tries to flow with all the different cycles. And connecting to the element of water, and throughout this beautiful flow of life and through her cycles, she can change the world. In my empowering work with women, I try to work with them through my own process. As women, we've been fed a lot of information about who are we and what's expected of us and what we should be and what society expects. And with the change of society and their expectations and feminism and all that we have been bombarded with, we know that the image of a woman has gone from forgetting that she's a female and almost acting like a man to feeling in many places and many situations like a sexual object, like something to stare at only for beauty, with very, very high standards to be pleasing. Now, in this whole beautiful wisdom that's Torah, we learn that women have an amazing power, they have an amazing mission, and they have an amazing job. Not to say that women are more or men are less, or not to say that men are more and women are less. We each came with a separate mission, but basically, in order to fulfill it, we got to do it together. A woman in Judaism has been given a lot of responsibility, yet a lot of, she's free in many senses, as opposed to men that are obligated to go to synagogue and pray in a minyan and put on tefillin and wear all these garments that they wear because they need a constant reminder of their male function and their male mission or responsibilities, where women, we are in a way connected in a different way, and we bring down all this godliness and all this connection through different things. So how does a woman connect to the element of water? It's through her marriage. She fulfills what we call the mitzvah of taharat hamishpacha, of family purity, which is she's very aware of her cycle, and when she's finishing her monthly cycle, so she immerses in what we call a mikveh, which is a pool that contains rainwater. We have natural mikvehs, which are a spring and a lake, a sea, the ocean. All these are natural mikvehs. But the world in itself, before anything was created, was a mikveh. Everything was filled with water. It was upper waters and lower waters, and God just, the second day of creation, he separated the upper from the lower. And we know now what's the miracle, that we go to the beach and the water flows to the shore but then goes right back. So there's a limit. So we know in everything to be good and to be abundant and everything, but everything needs a limit. Now, we connect to this element of water. The powerful thing about the mikveh is not only that it's a ritual that we do every month throughout our fertile years when we're cycling, but it's also connecting to this amazing power. It's the power of really renovation and transition. As women, we're compared to the moon, which we're always cycling. We're always going through cycles in our whole life, and we know that. A woman, from a girl, she turns She goes to puberty and then teenage and then adult and the cycle of birthing and getting pregnant and then menopause. And we know that we have to flow with our bodies constantly. And in this connection, when we're so connected to our inner cycles, when we're so connected to ourselves as women, as birthing, as always becoming, you know, women are not human beings. I always say we're human becoming, because we're constantly becoming, we're constantly cycling, whether it's in our thoughts, in our speech, in our deeds, in our bodies, in everything. So when we unite with this cycle and we connect to this element of water, which is really when a woman goes to the mikveh, it's going back to the womb almost. It's a new birth. Spiritually is a total different being. It's a transition. It's connecting really to this place of knowing that inside of me lies eternity, because when I have a child, it's not only my child, he's going to have his child and so forth, and it's generations and generations, and we know we carry that power within us. And we have that power to really connect, like I said, physically, but also spiritually. I wish for you that you're able to connect to the element of water, that element within you, which is all kindness, and yet to use that abundance that is inside of you, and to always remember that everything is about flowing. Sometimes we just gotta flow and let it go.